News time.
But yeah, like last night at the Oscars, I don't really watch the Oscars, obviously, but this the only thing that was blowing up the internet that I guess Chris Rock.
I think I did see the meme and I didn't get it. I was like, huh?
Because Chris Rock was making a joke, like he made a joke about Jada Smith, Will Smith's wife. They're in an open relationship now, by the way. What's funny is that Will Smith laughed, and then, well, this is what people were speculating. He laughed at the joke, but then he looked at his wife, and his wife was like that, like obviously he's like, the joke's about her, like, and it's kind of like mean, and then like, yeah, and then Will Smith got up, walked towards Chris Rock, and just gave him a huge smack in the face, like, and then went back and then shouted, "Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth." And yeah, like, so that's what everybody's like deciding now. It's like, is that real or not? Like, because that whole room also is a full, like, it's a room full of actors.
Oh,
so he doesn't know.
Still laughing as he go there.
Yeah, because he has no idea what he's doing.
Wow, dude. Yeah. It was a G.I. Jane joke.
G.I. Jane のジョークだったんで。
I'm going to, okay?
No, but I feel like Will Smith looked like he was trying to hold back his laugh when he said that, because like you said, he did laugh in the beginning, but maybe
noticed
for
the wife's face. Yeah, like,
yeah.
Because especially they're in an open relationship, and it's like, he
didn't twice too. He yelled it twice.
I know, and it's so loud, and it's like, you can't really say anything because Chris Rock is not pressing any charges. Like, he's not making a big deal about it. So it's like, he's the one who got slapped. Like, okay, But yeah, I mean, if I feel like if anyone gets a slap after saying a joke, or even like saying something like, that you didn't realize is that mean, like, and violence is never the answer, and he's just making a very bad like example of that. Especially at the Oscars.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's also such a like, I mean, it seems pretty normal to me, like for guys especially, like if they're gonna like.
Some girls might see like, oh my God, I totally want a guy like this, like that defends my honor. But it's like, hey, you want to be dating through jail cell? Like, seriously? Like, you want to like visit your boyfriend like that? No. Because it's like, dude, your boyfriend is not Will Smith. Okay, he's gonna get in trouble. It's like, this is not a situation.
Have the money to bail out of jail, so.
For real though, I mean, you wouldn't want your son going to punch someone like just because gets mad at someone.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would definitely like give them the talk.
And then look at and if it was a woman, imagine if it was a woman. I mean, that would have been weird. So, fun fact, before we ever came to America, we had no idea what Jewish even is.
Yeah.
First ever friend I've ever met in America, and she happens to be half Jewish. I don't even know because people make it sound like Jewish, like if you're Jewish, that's like your national. It sounds like people are calling them by their nationality when they say that, right? Like, are you Jewish?
Yeah. And I don't even know, like, is Jewish just the religion or the ethnicity or the nationality? There's no nationality. You don't hold like a Jewish passport. Growing up in Macau, like a lot of our history lessons are maybe 80% all the dynasties and 90% all the dynasties and kings and how they died when they were born.
There's so many dynasties. Oh my God. I'm like, when is these dynasties gonna end? Oh my God. When is it gonna die? Amazing. That was not planned, guys. Okay.
Embarrassed to say, but we don't know a lot about the Jewish culture, like anything about it. So the first time we ever learned is just when we're here. And for me, also just
especially you're from New York City. There's a lot of Jewish people too.
Oh my God, let me tell you, if I just drive 20 minutes like west, then like I feel like I went back in time, because like the town, it's mostly like Orthodox Jewish, where they would wear the same clothes, and then all of them look, I mean, they have like wigs, and it's very like traditional and religious, you know, like. And so when I would go in and buy stuff, it would be like, am I supposed to be here? Because, you know, I wasn't like covering, you know, myself that well, like,
I see.
you know. But yeah, it's interesting. But obviously, like our friend that's coming up, our guest, she is half, you know, so she's kind of like us, where we're not like exactly Filipino, but not exactly from Macau, you know, like a mix of everything. So it's just kind of like her experience growing up with that, and also the Latina culture, because she is half Puerto Rican, which is cool.
The most coincidental thing that happened.
You know, same elementary school.
Even now, when we're in America, we're aliens.
Still aliens.
I came here, I'm like, where is my wings? Like,
Sizzle on my tongue.
hopefully this is a platform that makes people feel safe.
I completely almost forgot. This is my friend Ilana. She is the first ever friend I made actually in America. And also, she is of the Jewish culture. I mean, Jewish culture household, which is the first ever time I've ever met someone like that. Because in Asia, in Macau, like we do not have any knowledge about it. Like especially our history class, we
Our
mainly
history
do
classes, or
China.
just like there's not a lot of like Jewish there, and so the first time we were ever exposed to it is when we came here. So it's pretty interesting. But before we get into it, why don't you introduce yourself?
I always forget everything about me when someone asks me that question. I'm like, who am I? I'm having an existential
Yeah,
crisis.
no, I get it.
Hi, I'm Ilana. I live in Florida, and
Samesies.
I'm a social media manager, and I'm also a business owner.
Yes.
Nice.
Talk about your business. You want to talk about your business right now?
Sure.
Do it.
What do you do?
So I have a clothing line called Lounging Llama, which I established in 2019. And it's all done from my home. And it's just a line of loungewear that is for children and for adults, and it's all unisex clothing. And basically, I just wanted people to feel good and look good, because I feel like it starts off with, if you feel good, then your soul's going to feel good, and that's just going to radiate and make you look good. So
That's true.
yeah.
Nice. Wait, so you make the clothes?
No. So
Sorry, I didn't know. I'm like,
No.
I don't have like a sewing machine back there, and I'm like sewing
yeah.
24 hours. But no, one of my friends is a graphic designer, so she actually created the logo for me, and then I just sent it out to a wholesale printer person. I don't know what you call them, and then they just sent out whatever I wanted, and anything else that I create is just through like one of those t-shirt making websites.
And I saw you had
Cool.
one of the actresses, what's her name? Like that she did a video with your t-shirt. It was pretty cool.
Oh, Lindsay Shaw.
Lindsay Shaw. Yeah, she's like on
Yeah, from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide.
yeah, Nickelodeon. Oh my god, yes. That's so cool. That's
That was honestly, I didn't ask her to do any of that. I was just like, hey, can I like send you some stuff? And she said, yeah. And then she just was so nice to like make a video about like the Alzheimer's charity t-shirt that I have, and then
Alzheimer's.
make TikToks and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. So I have my first vendor event coming up in April.
Really? April what?
It's gonna be at the YMCA in Boca. So
Okay.
yeah, I signed up.
nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So our first question that we have here is, how was it growing up as Jewish in America, or in general, like growing up in a Jewish family? I know you mentioned that, you know, you're not too into like the more extreme Jewish, which is called Orthodox, I guess. But like, how is it for you personally? Since most of our
Literally know
audience are people in
nothing, so.
Macau, yeah, we don't really know a lot. So I guess just how is it for you personally?
Well, I grew up in New York, and the area that I grew up in was predominantly Jewish area.
Oh, what was the town? Can I ask?
New Rochelle.
New Rochelle. Okay. That's where I work right now, actually.
That's why.
Oh,
I work in New Rochelle. Yeah.
shout out to Sister County.
Small town, small place, small world.
I know. Yeah. So even though like there was a diverse kids that I went to school with of many backgrounds and cultures, it still was pretty Jewish over there. So a lot of people would go to temple during the Jewish holidays, and like I said, I'm not like super religious, so I don't really know all the holidays, but there's a holiday called I make sure that I'm saying this
No.
sukkah, something like that. I don't know, but it's like a little like a tent, not like a, I don't know, like a tent hut thing. Then I don't know, you go outside, people build it in front of their lawn. So I saw a lot of that. I don't really know.
Oh yeah, and you would go like to those birthdays. Did you have a what's it called?
Bat mitzvah?
Yeah, a bat
No,
mitzvah.
I did not get bat mitzvah. I didn't go to Hebrew school or anything like that.
Like it's like a sweet 16 for, I guess,
It's like 13 years
right?
old, I believe. Where you become a woman or a man.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
For Filipinos, it's the debut. For us, it's 18 years old.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's huge. Like people throw a lot of money into it, and people dress like.
Yeah, my family's not the richest, so I was like, just give me the money to go travel.
Never had a bat mitzvah or anything, but I obviously have family who have, so I've gotten to go to those, and they're really fun. But we just celebrate Passover and Yom Kippur.
Every Saturday, do they not use like electronics or something?
I know that there are families that do that, but we just.
Your family is like, I guess, more relaxed with those kind of rules and.
Yeah, like for example, for Passover, normally we would go over to a family friend's house in the past years, but because of the pandemic, it was just my family and I. So when I've gone to other people's houses, they do it a lot differently, where they have a book and everyone takes turns reading the book, and then there's like songs that you sing, like apples and honey and wine, and like throughout reading the book, you have to do these certain things with the food, like dip your finger in the wine like 5 times and onto the plate, and then you can dip the honey or the apples in the honey. So
are they supposed to like represent something?
They are. I just don't know.
Okay.
But
it's like the wine and the bread with like Catholic.
Yeah.
And it takes like, because some people they will speed through the book because they're hungry. And then there's other people that it'll be like a 2-hour thing. And I'm just saying, I'm really hungry. Like I didn't eat for this. Like I've been waiting all day because it's a huge feast. But it's really interesting to see how other people celebrate it. But when I have it at my house, it's just like, let's eat.
Yeah.
Like, have the food that they want us to have, but we just eat.
That's true.
Gotcha.
I understand that so much just because like my dad is Muslim and my mom is like Catholic, and so we both sides is very like like light.
My mom was also Catholic, so she celebrates Christmas, so I get all the holidays.
Oh, that's what.
Okay.
That's what one of our questions is, that did you believe in Santa Claus growing up? Because in America, that's a big deal, right, for kids?
Yeah. Is it not in Macau?
No.
It's not like, don't tell the child that Santa Claus doesn't exist. Like there's no that kind of like,
there would be
secrecy.
just like pictures of Santa Claus, but we were like, oh, it's like a white guy. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't be like,
oh,
we truly believe. I mean, maybe at some point some kids would like fantasize about it, but it's not a big thing as it is here.
I don't think I ever believed in Santa Claus just because like I always knew it was my parents and my grandparents buying me gifts.
Oh,
And my grandma was very insistent on telling me that Santa was real. So
Okay.
I remember there was like one time where I was at her house and I guess I had back talked or I don't know, I was rude or something. And she's like, I'm gonna call Santa Claus and I'm gonna tell him that you're not being good. And I was like, call him. Do it.
call him.
Do it.
Do
What
it.
number are you gonna go?
Do it. Did she actually do it?
I think she did pick up the phone and she was Puerto Rican, so she'd be like, "Hola, Santa Claus," and I and I would be like, "You're talking to nobody on the phone."
I also was like curious on like how you grew up like in America going to school wise, just because I mean not in like a Jewish sense too, like just because we have no idea like how it is, you know. I watch like movies with American high schools and they're like, oh, girls wear high heels to school.
It's funny because I guess I don't really think about what other people portray
Yeah.
as in America, but
Yeah.
the movies definitely ruined my perception of school because I remember, you know, in the movies, like the classic 2000s movies, it's like, oh, you're gonna go on a date with the football player and they're gonna pick you
Yeah.
up in his dad's car and you're gonna go mini golfing and then it's gonna be magical and you're gonna walk down the halls holding hands and everyone's gonna be like, oh, she's dating the football player. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm so excited for that. And then I got to high school and I was like, what is this? And it was not like that. Like, yeah, there were people that dated like football players, but they weren't like, definitely wasn't like the movies. And I was a lot more introverted in high school and I wasn't as talkative or outspoken as I am now. So I was just more of like a wallflower, I feel like, in high school. And I was just like observing everybody and I was like,
Yeah.
"This is so interesting." Like I don't think I ever really saw people wear heels.
That's so unrealistic.
My
I feel
mom
like.
didn't even let me wear sandals in high school. She didn't even let me wear sneakers.
Oh my
And like
god.
now it wasn't even cute sneakers. It was like gym sneakers with a dress. And I remember this one girl looked at me and was like, cute outfit. And I was like, my mom made me wear it.
Like I wanted to ask, there's two Netflix shows that I watch. I don't know if you've heard of them, but like it's one is called Unorthodox and then one is called My Unorthodox Life. Have you heard of them?
I haven't watched it, but my mom, I think, watched My Unorthodox Life and she said it was really good.
Yeah.
I just never got a chance to watch it.
I feel like I learned the most about the Jewish culture like from that. I mean, I don't know if it's a good educating source, but so it was interesting to kind of see like how the mom left the church and then she just kind of talked about how she is now, how she does, and how she just changed even after many years, 20, 30 years being in there.
After I got here in America, like I watched Seinfeld, and that's when I like found out so much like Jewish traits or something like that. I'm like, whoa, like that's like a completely like big culture here that like we had no idea.
It's good that you live in Florida because, you know, Boca is just like predominantly Jewish.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's funny because in Seinfeld too, like their parents live in Boca. I'm like,
Yeah, all of those older sitcoms, all of their parents live in Boca.
it's a richer area. Yes, Maine. That's why.
Is that in Florida?
Yeah, that's where I live.
Yeah, she lives in Boca.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like one area in central Boca that is like an Orthodox Jewish area. So a lot of people will walk to the Chabad in the outings, I guess, on the weekends or something. Because I guess like people want to live close enough where they can walk. Because I don't think they can drive.
Yeah. And it's interesting because we're all here. We're all mixed race.
Or they'll be like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, where was I born, or like what my is, and then they'll be like, "Oh, where are you born?" I'm like, "New York," and they're like, "Oh, okay, so like you're just American," and I'm like, "But no, like,
But no.
like it stresses me out, that question." But
Hey, that's so true. Same.
it was more interesting once I did the ancestry DNA test.
Oh, okay.
Because my mom had did hers through like 23andMe, and she found out a bunch of things, because Puerto Ricans are a mix of like Native American and African and Spanish, so like she wanted to see like where her roots really came from. And when she found out, she was like, okay, you need to do this. So then it turns out that I guess my dad's side of the family, they're like Russian and Polish. And
Okay.
yeah,
That's
so I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And then I guess with Puerto Ricans, like it traces back to Portugal and
Ooh.
obviously Spain and all that. So I was like, wow, like I think it said like 13% like Portuguese or something.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, that's cool. So it's really interesting.
it is.
I was gonna say, if you didn't tell me like where your parents are from, I would probably guess Portugal too.
Yeah,
I think you do have a facial feature of like Portuguese general.
I get Hispanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In this podcast, we always ask about food.
We always end
Is there do you have like a favorite dish from either your mom's culture or your dad's culture? What's, I guess, tell us what your favorite dish is.
I love matzo brie from my dad.
What is that?
So matzo, like the crackers that they have for like is it Passover? Big like cracker type thing, right? You can make that into like it's kind of like a pancake matzo.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
And my mom makes it really, really good. And that's like one of my favorite things. And also like matzo ball soup, which is basically.
Oh, is it like 3 big balls and then soup? Oh, yeah. I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah.
And then mofongo. Have you ever had mofongo? Oh, it's so good. It's
mofongo?
Like, yeah, it's like
Whoa.
I think it's
Puerto Rico cuisine.
That
there's a lot of like
actually.
island foods that's just like, kind of reminds me of Filipino food, right? And my mom, we didn't have plantains in Asia. It's crazy. Like we had 0 plantains in Asia.
We didn't.
No, yeah. So the closest thing, my mom would fry bananas though. The other day I had garlic chip plantain chips.
Oh. Thank you so much, Ilana, for your time and for telling us about yourself and your life here. It was fun to get to know you and kind of like the differences, also you experience as a mixed race person here in America.
Thanks for having me on, and it was really nice to meet you and talk to you both.
It's such a small world that like you're used to live where she works. Like,
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay. It's gonna end like, but I mean, if you guys want to continue talking after this, just